इतना सफर है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Good afternoon, one and all. Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for playing the corporate video of Franchise India. Franchise India, the group which was established in 1999, is Asia's largest franchisee solution and advisory company. We have helped numerous international and national brands to expand their business with our 70 plus offices. We have advised and helped potential business buyers and investors to get their business from us. We welcome you to 136th episode of Business Opportunity Chai webinar series. This is a digital platform where we try to represent brand of the day. We do not endorse any particular franchisee or brand. The flow of the webinar would be, we'll start with the information about the brand, where the brand owner founder will give background about the brand and will talk in detail about the brand, followed by question and answers by our panel member. We welcome the panel member, management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria and Sonia Chaudhary. This particular webinar is hosted by both of them. The brand of the day today is iconic Nathus, the brand which was established in 1939. 80 years of legacy they carry, and they are operational with 20 plus successful outlets. And it's our privilege to welcome Mr. Bhavya Gupta, who is director at Nathu, to talk about this brand. Thank you so much, Bhavya, for joining us today. Over to you to explain what kind of a franchisee model you are offering for all of us.
Thank you, Gauravji. Thank you, Sonaji, for having me here. Would like to start the presentation now.
Thank you, Bhavya. And before you start the presentation, give us a little story about Nathus. We all have grown up on your brand, and a lot of people who come to land in Delhi, the first thing they would do is go to Nathus because it's such an iconic brand. And tell us a story how the brand was started, who started in your family, and how this brand was really done, and now it's all over, expanded, and there's many branches we have, and how the brand really started, because a lot of people don't know that you are one of the oldest brands in the category, and not I mean, we sometimes hear some brands which are actually not that old, so it's a very big history and legacy you have. So over to you, Bhavya, to give us a little overview about how the journey really started.
So it was started by my great grandfather in 1939. We had a small shop of sweets and snacks at Bengali market. So we used to get the snacks and sweets ready, and it was the main spot for all the tourists coming to Delhi. So it was in between the railway station and the bus stands. Everybody coming through bullock carts or those bullock carts would stand outside and customers would be visiting there. They would be getting sweets for their hometown as well. And then slowly over generations, we built our products and increased the variety of products that we offer. Then over the next generation and next generation, we have been perfecting the recipes and improving as much as we can, serving the customers in the best possible way with the best product quality and services.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a Bengali market became an iconic. I remember one time I had a very big film star friend, and he was in hotel in Delhi,
Mhm.
and I went to meet him. And one of the top 5-star hotels, he was there. And one thing, he saw me and he says, "Can you send your driver to get me chana from the nathus in Bengali market?" So I was surprised that he had such a big carving for your entire thing. The first thing he's seeing me not interested in any other thing. He says, "Can you send somebody कि वहां से तू मेरे को चने मंगवा दे?" So that's where the opportunity was. So people have been coming to the place for many years, and these can be big stars, it can be big politicians, and everybody who matters have really gone there, and the Bengali market itself became an iconic for Nathus.
Yeah, we regularly supply to the Parliament, President's House, the Defense Departments, and everywhere. Also, a lot of film stars are regular visitors, and many a times their managers are going from Delhi, so they send their managers to get their sweets or some of the restaurant products raw packed, and then they have it fried there or prepared there from that and enjoy there as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think very privileged to have you on board, and we see a very long term expansion with you. So over to you now, Bhavya, to start your presentation and present what is an opportunity we're talking.
Welcome and good afternoon all. So as stated before, we started our journey in 1939, and we have been the consistent leader in the makers of delectable sweets and traditional products for over 8 decades now. The business have been managed by family venture of over 4 generations now. A lot of family members are involved in this. It's based on the simplicity and authenticity that we have built over the years of the supreme quality of our products, the ingredients we use, and the service we provide to our customers. The sweetness in our country can be found across in different forms across the country, and we bring them together. Products from different parts of the country, sweets and traditional food, cuisine, South Indian, North Indian food from different part of the country, and customize it according to the taste of the customers and the requirement nowadays, also keeping in mind the nutrition facts of the product and offer it to the customer. Then food industry, Gauravji and Suneji would better explain that, but I'll just give a brief on this. Food industry is a very big industry, and especially in India, it's ranked 6th largest in world. Also, food fulfills the basic requirement of a person, of an individual. So it's a very promising industry. And nowadays, as in as in urban areas, both husband and wife are going out for work. So the number of outings have increased. Also, there's a charisma of having food outside, and so that's increasing the number of times a family visits outside, and the industry is seeing an unexceptional growth. Then some of the restaurant items that we offer are the North Indian food, South Indian, Chinese, Indian chaat, Italian, continental beverages. So these are the, it's kind of a one-stop solution for a vegetarian person going out for a dine-in option or getting food ordered for his home. Also with that, we have the mithai sections. Now we have started with the sugar-free mithai about 10-15 years back, and have a very good response for that. So a lot of people having diabetes or want to avoid sugar, they go for sugar-free mithai, and other sweets are also there, like the ghee sweets, khoya sweets, dry fruit sweets, laddus. Also, a thing I would like to bring up nowadays, some people says that moving towards healthy and those things, sweet is really healthy. The nutrition values, if we see about sweet, have a very good nutrition value. They are sweets made from milk through by dry fruits. If we get into the nutrition facts and everything, those are very healthy. The silver work used on sweets is a very good uh, part of a diet that one person can have. Also, we have the bakery section added now, a pure vegetarian bakery to this, and that where we offer cakes, cookies, and other products. Then online ordering, as the trend goes nowadays. So people are ordering from Swiggy, Zomato, or on our website, and getting the food delivered to their home when they're not comfortable or to go out, and also to their offices or parties and everywhere. Some of the brand USPs I would like to take now. Now 80 years of legacy, we have tried to make our product better and better every day, and working on the recipes and everything. So we now have a predefined recipe for our products, and uh, have to able to serve it at a similar taste at various outlets. Then we offer a unique blend and a wide range of cuisines. Then it's India's very own brand, established in 1939 in Delhi, and it's known for a quality, authenticity, and delicious experience that we offer. So it goes well with the Make in India campaign. Uh, it's a pure vegetarian place, and we prefer the sweets to be prepared at each outlets. That I would count as a USP, because nowadays in market there are a lot of brands that are centrally producing these sweets and sending it everywhere. That reduces operational cost a bit, but the product that the customer gets is not of that premium quality, and product loses some of its nutrition value when it's kept over uh, stored in refrigerators or in some new technologies that we have. Also, the online ordering is there. And some of our core values are the integrity. We pledge honesty, integrity, and ethical behavior in everything we do, regarding the production, staff management, customer handling, everything. Accountability, we hold ourselves and our team accountable to deliver positive results. We are, as a team, suppose we go for a franchisee, we as a team have to work together and get the positive results that we want. We should respect each other the way we like to be treated. uh, then responsibility, we believe in giving back to improve the quality life in our community. So as a community grows, we also grows, and taking care of the community is really important. Innovation, we strive to become better every day, both personally and in our services and product we produce. Teamwork, we are willing to put the team and the team's need before our needs. So we join together and we are working together. Your needs would be given a preference and help first. Opportunity, we believe in creating opportunity for our people to reach their full potential. The potential you have, we will have an opportunity in the market, and with us to grow. You want to start with one outlet and expand to 10 outlets, 50 outlets, we are there to support. We are always with you. These are some of the outlets. Currently we have 10 outlets in Delhi NCR and about 10 outlets outside Delhi NCR. Then this is a number of outlets, staff over 500 staff at a time. In our full-fledged outlet, we have 300 plus products available at a time. And if we will include the seasonal products and other things that we offer throughout the year, it would increase to about 450 plus. We plan to have a number of outlets of 50 plus by 2022, which is more than double of these. But in today's market, I believe it can be achieved. Now the franchisee model that we are offering is FOFO, that is franchisee owned and franchisee operated outlet. For this, for a complete sweets, restaurant, bakery and namkeen outlet, we would require a space of about 5,000 square feet. It would have a sitting capacity of 80 to 100 persons. For the restaurant, the ticketing size would be 150 to 200 per person coming out for a lunch or dinner. And for sweets, it would be about 500 rupees per person. So suppose a person generally taking a 1 kg sweet, and there are some people who are taking 250 grams. So an average comes out to be 500 per person. So to calculate the revenue for according to the footfall. Then the outlet timings that we have are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Such a long outlet timings. The reason is that we have items to offer throughout the day. So morning we start with chola bhatura, samosa, snacks, and everything. People, South Indian. Having visiting the outlet and having it there, and then going to office or ordering to their offices, getting sweets to get to go to the temple to for that. Then there is the lunch time. We have North Indian food and other things. Then in the evening we have tea and snacks, chaat, pakoras, those section running very well. Then for dinner again we have the North Indian, South Indian, and multi cuisine restaurant running. Then the investment for this is about 1.5 CR initially, and we recommend to have a 50 lakh rupees as a backup for the working capital, and it would have a franchisee fees of 25 lakh rupees and royalty of 6%. Then suppose you are looking for an outlet in Delhi, that was for Pan India. If you are looking for an outlet in Delhi NCR, or the second outlet in your location, so you would be having the base kitchen in Delhi NCR. You would be having the brand base kitchen for supplying all the products. So you would require a space of about 3,000 square feet, and the investment would reduce to 1 CR. And working capital of say 20-30 lakh rupees. The franchisee fees would be 25 lakh rupees and royalty of 6%. That would remain the same. And if you opt for only a restaurant model, there you would require a space of about 2,000 square feet. It would have a sitting capacity of 80 to 100 persons. The customer ticket size would be 200 to 250 per person. And operational hours here would be a bit lesser, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Initial investment would be 70-80 lakh rupees and a working capital of 20-30 lakh rupees. The franchisee fees for restaurant model would be 15 lakhs and royalty of 8% on sales. This is one of our restaurant in Delhi. It's located at Dwarka. Now the franchisee support that we provide is the site scout assistance. So you shortlist some of the locations that you find preferable for the work. Then out of those, we give you a brief analysis of which location, what positives and negative of the location, and then we can mutually decide which location would be best to go for. Then the consultancy and support for architectural and interiors, provision of startup team recruitment and training. So before opening, we get all the teams for the startup, like the chefs, managers, the ground staff, everybody there, and have a training session of 10 days there at the site as well. They're first trained at our location, at our outlets, then at the location as well. So all the teams can meet each other and have a best efficiency during the running hours. Then the branding, online promotions, digital consultancy is done by the central brand, have a team for this. In supply chain management and assistance, how and when to procure what material, how much material to keep in there, where to procure the material from. Also, if your location, city have some unique or different products that also we would like to offer there, we can definitely have a recipe set for those and introduce them at those outlets. Then sweet kitchen setup at the location nearby. Also these sweets with longer shelf life and the masalas, the key ingredients for our restaurant and other products are manufactured by the brand and provided by the brand, so that a similar taste can be achieved at the outlets. Thank you. We will be open for question and answers now.
Thank you so much, Parvez. I think this presentation is very valuable. I would also like to thank you for coming on this website. I've received so many inquiries where people actually looking at an opportunity which can be sustained in this time. And 80 years is a long time. You've been the third generation entrepreneur who's on a very, I would say, for maintaining the heritage and also bringing modern day relevance. And many old businesses we see are that we have witnessed, they actually don't relate to the millennium of today. And innovation, which I saw you made a mention of that in your presentation, and product evolvement are very, very important in today's business in order to sustain. And sweets, particularly, I would say, is one category where even the multinationals have largely stayed away from. And our introduction, as far as our Indian societies or families are concerned, our introduction to eating out actually came from the traditionally family-owned multi-cuisine restaurant like yours. So congratulations to the work that you have done in these years, Bhavya. So I'll take some questions from the audience, and before that, maybe I'd like to start off with the overall business model. We talked about three formats, the 5,000 square feet, 3,000, and the restaurant model. And if you can just maybe explain what is the offering in these three models. One you said is outside Delhi. The 5,000 model is bigger, which is only for Delhi, outside Delhi, while 3,000 is only for Delhi NCR. And third model you said is the restaurant model. So if you can explain the offering of these three models in terms of the menu items, and also if the restaurant model is available only in Delhi, or this is also available outside Delhi, if that can also be discussed. If you can talk about the offering one, and then I'd like to go a little bit in depth in terms of understanding the breakup of the investment, which starts from about 80 odd lakhs and goes up to 1.5 CR.
Okay. Thank you, Sonia ji. It's just to correct, it's a fourth generation now. Thank you for your comments. I would start with the first, the 5,000 square feet. So this is a model, complete. It's a complete setup in its own. Everything can be produced there. It has the manufacturing area, the retail area, and everything. And it can be executed anywhere in Delhi NCR or anywhere in Pan India. Right. So the products, it's a full-fledged outlet having sweets, namkeens, bakery, restaurant, everything that we offer. All the packed products, gifting items for, say, wedding gifting or corporate gifting, everything it has. And the second one, 3,000 square feet one, it's also similar to the 5,000 one, just that the manufacturing part is taken care by the brand, or if you already have a manufacturing unit, it can be supplied from there. So suppose we are saying, we are talking for Mumbai, and we have one outlet open there with the 5,000 square feet, and he has all the base kitchens and everything. So the second outlet he wants to open, say, within 15 kilometers or 1 hour drive. So we can have an outlet with only 3,000 square feet, and it would be the same offering to the customer. So whether the 3,001 or the 5,000, the visibility from customer point of view would be the same. Just the manufacturing unit is in addition to the 5,000 square feet outlet. And first I would give the breakup for this. So for the 5,000 square feet area, about 60 to 70 lakh rupees is invested on the interiors, the furnitures, air conditioning units, and those things. And about 50 lakh rupees for the equipments, cutleries, and those things required, like sweet counters, kitchen equipment, then sweet kitchen setup, equipments for that side. And cutleries, and about 10-15 lakh rupees for opening and the initial stock, packaging material, those things required. For the 3,001, there's a reduce of about 50 lakh rupees in the initial investment, and the interior cost in that would be about 60 lakh rupees and 40 lakh rupees for the equipment part. Now for the restaurant part, we are open for that also for Pan India. And the investment for that is about 70-80 lakhs, out of which about 45 lakh rupees is for the interiors part and 20 lakh rupees for the equipment part.
And when you say, so what does the restaurant offer? Will it not have the sweets because the investment is less and the area seems comparatively lesser than the other format? So will we have all the offerings format, or will not sweets, because sweets you mentioned requires a manufacturing capability?
Yes. So only the restaurant model, whether we go in Delhi or outside, for the 2,000 square feet model, it only has the restaurant. In sweets, it would be having desserts like rasmalai, rasgullas, seasonal halwas, stick kulfi, kulfa faludi, kulfi faluda. These kind of things would be there in the sweet section. Also, packed a section for packed sweets is planned there, and so packed sweets, dry fruits, those can be offered there as well. But mostly that would be focused on the restaurant part.
Okay. But if you want to also explain, because we understand maybe a bigger structure would also take a comparatively, bigger gestation time. If you want to also even elaborate, how long does it take and what is a typical time frame? Because you recently, I saw one of the pictures that you set up in Dwarka. So what is the typical gestation time for any business to maybe come to a break even in all these three formats? One, and ROI, we understand that's about 2.5 odd years that you projected. But what is the break-even point for the operating expenses, and how many months would they take for an individual to come to that point? Is one of the questions which I want to pick up, and after that I'll move on to the next set of questions.
Generally, the break even we reach in 6 to 8 months. So the operational cost and the sales we generally get there by 6 to 8 months, and in some cases we are opening before festival season. It may range from may reach in 3 months as well, but uh, generally it takes 6 to 8 months and maximum up to an year. And including that period, the break even the payback period is about 2.5 years. So 1.5 CR returned in say 2.5 years for the complete 5,000 square feet outlet. And for the restaurant, the payback period would be about 18 to 19 months. And the average returns on the complete model is say about 40% and a bit higher in the restaurant.
Now, moving on to the unit economics, because we like to understand typically what cost would have, and if you can even segregate the food cost between, I would say, food, sweets, and beverages. One, and second, typically in these three formats, what is the average sale one outlet can make, and what are the operating costs one has to incur in these outlets?
Okay, so the profit margins. So the food cost in the restaurant would come out about to be 30%, including controlled wastage. In sweets, it would come, the raw material cost would be about 50%, and for beverages, it varies from 10 to 30% depending upon the beverage, the raw material cost. So beverage is the most highest margin products. Then the sales that we expect from an outlet, so for a complete setup, whether that is the 3001 or the 5001, we expect a sale of about 1.5-2 lakh rupees per day, and so that's a turnover of about 5 CR annual turnover. And for the restaurant one, we expect a sale of about 80,000 to 1 lakh rupees per day, and turnover of about 2 CR annually. I missed some question.
Typically, what are the expenses which go in? How much is the salary? I also wanted to understand, if you can expand on the operating expenses. Rent kitna hona chahiye? What kind of rental locations are we looking at? Because these times, well, rental has come down, but there should be some economics. What percentage of the overall top line should contribute towards salary? So, kya business economics? How does it work? What typically are rentals? How much towards salaries are given? And if that can also be expanded a bit.
The rentals that we expect is about 100 to 150 per square feet on the carpet area that we have. And the salaries generally varies. The average salary is between say 12 to 15,000. The highest going from 25 to 30 and starting from about 10,000. So salary structure is like this. And for the complete outlet, the 5,000 square feet one, and employees of about 60-65 are required there. And for the restaurant one, about 30-35 persons are required.
Okay, so if we talk about a smaller format where you said, about 80,000 average, one would make, this would be about 2.4 odd crores monthly. And the average margins in this business, taking out all the expenses, should be between 15 to 18%. Is that right?
For the restaurant one?
Yeah.
So for the
Average
restaurant,
margins जो बचते हैं after taking out all the expenses. So if I take out the food costs, the salaries and the rentals, all these expenses put together, the average, I would say, the bottom line margins which are left are close to 15 to 18%. Is that correct?
yeah, that's correct for the complete model, the suites and restaurant model. But when we are talking only about the restaurant model, and we have a good sales in restaurant, so restaurant offers a higher margin. So percentage in restaurant can be more. So say suppose you have a complete restaurant running, it have a break even of about say 50,000 per day. So a sale of about 15 lakh monthly. So after that the margins goes like 50% on the sale that we generate more. So then it increase more. So in restaurant the overall margins can be brought up about 25-30% of the net sales.
And I like to touch upon the training aspect because a lot of people don't come from the food background. One, what kind of training is imparted to the franchisee? And second is on the staff. How is that staff procured? Is the staff procured by you and trained by you, or the franchisee is responsible for procurement of the staff and training is taken care by the company?
The staff is recruited by us and trained by us, and then placed at the outlet. Also, since the staff are from varied places, so there's a training session of about 10 days at the location as well, apart from the one at our outlets. And for the franchisee, we welcome him to our outlets and get him to know uh, all the uh, all the knowings that required to run the outlet. So all the shortcomings or where they can go wrong, all those things are explained at our existing outlets so that he can manage things there better. Also the company is always
Another
there.
thing which I want to understand is also on the. Sure, please go ahead.
Also company is always there if he's facing any issue or anything, a company's expert would be there and helping him out with that. Related
And
to
if you
anything.
can elaborate, because, how long does it take if somebody finalizes the location? What is the process from signing off to the launch, and what are the I would say support which the company gives at the time of the launch and maybe ongoing, especially when maybe territory is new territory for Nathus, because most of your locations we see are operating out of Delhi NCR, and it might require a bigger effort at the time of launch and ongoing to make the brand more approachable or reach out to prospective users or customers, so to say. So one, I'll again repeat, what is the time frame between the signing off and what is the process to be followed till the launch? Second, what are the activities and support which the brand gives at the time of the launch?
Okay, so once the location is finalized, from that it takes about 3 months to get all the interiors done, the equipments placed, the training there, and getting the all the vendors finalized, packaging material, everything. It takes about 3 months to start from that point. And next, I think you asked about a training.
Yeah, about the launch. So what support
So
the
about the
company at
launch,
the time?
so the company have their internal team for marketing and those things. So they would be putting ads on online through Facebook, Google, and getting to know the in the city to know the people that Nathu Sweets is coming here, and we are opening on this date, and they're welcome for the opening and visiting us. Also, there are advertisements for through banners and brochures and other things done at the places.
Because food is a very hands-on business and it requires a lot of operational time. So would you want to even maybe explain what kind of profile of people are we requiring? What is the engagement and time involvement of these people which would be required in the business? Because that's very important aspect of food business. And a lot of people who come in food sometimes, come as just passive investors, and this business requires running an operations by the partner and their entire involvement, from morning till evening and maybe late hours, because one of the models that we saw starts very early because that's a breakfast time and also ends late with the dinner. So what kind of profile of franchisees are we looking at? If you could help us understand and explain it to the audience too.
Okay, so this is a business that requires longer working hours and requires the involvement of the investor or the person from his family to look after the regular working at the outlet. It's really important somebody from the home is there to look after the outlet, and the person that we would be looking for does not require any prior experience in food line or something like that. It's okay if he has, then that's an added advantage. If he do not have, then also it's not an issue. We would be providing the prerequisites for the business that he wants, that we would be doing further. And the main thing is that he should be free for this and should be ready to devote time in this, because this is a complete industry. It involves manufacturing, customer dealing, retail, and everything, material procurements, right?
Like what because today a lot of food companies are depending on platforms like Swiggy and Zomato. In your business, what is the new mix? How much is on business, how much is being a family restaurant is a big seating all the restaurants that we saw model.
Sorry,
What
can you
is the
repeat?
offline and online? I'm saying what is the online and offline revenue mix? So कितना हमारा online आता है आपके orders and how much is the offline which is at the outlet dining? And उसका क्या mix रहता है? What is the revenue mix?
So generally it varies from location to location. So the online ordering varies from 10 to 20% of the total sales.
So 10 to 20 you say is online platforms and the balance is 80% which is
80 to
dining
90% is
at the
offline,
restaurant.
and if we would include the corporate orders and those things, then the online would become a really small part, because in Sweetline and the ordering like wedding gifts and those are big sales, and we cannot compare them with the online sales. That's a totally retail thing, and that's a corporate sale. So if we comparing the retail
Okay,
sales,
and
the
because
online sales, yeah.
okay. And one thing I want to maybe you to explain what kind of locations do we need? I think locations have always played very important role for any business, and especially when a business is sit down, unlike cloud kitchens, which can be opened anywhere and they need not be visible. What kind of locations are you looking at? If you want to maybe even elaborate in terms of the ideal location, which could be malls, high streets, and even on the frontage, how big these should be, because you have standard location and specifications for the same. Would you want to explain that too?
Right. For a restaurant, a high street market or a mall, everything, both the places should be having a good footfall and should have a good parking space, and visibility is an added advantage always. So that is good. For a complete sweet and restaurant outlet, we would prefer only the ground floor should be there for the sweet section. And if we are going in a mall, then a separate entry should be there for our outlet. And high streets and local markets are very good locations for a sweet and a restaurant outlet, but it should have parking and visibilities.
Okay. Now I come to the rollout bit because I see some inquiries coming from many locations. For example, I have somebody who's writing from Jharkhand. So would you want to specify, Pape, what locations? While I think we did see that looking at Pan India, but would you want to prioritize and say these are the immediate locations that we want to enter? And is there a stage-wise progression plan for the expansion, or are we looking at the entire market as a whole?
Currently, we're looking at the entire market. The criteria for shortlisting the location would be what the sales can be target. So for a new outlet, we target as I told before, turnover about 5 CR. If at that location we can see there's a opportunity to get a turnover of 5 CR in the first year, and then increase that 20-30% every year, and say about in 5-year times we get reach a turnover of say 10 CR. So that location is all right, and but if you say what do we prefer outrightly, then it would be tier 1 and tier 2 cities. But yes, there are a lot of places in India now that tier 3 cities and beyond, those have a larger capacity for this, so we are open for those as well.
All right. Now I would like to maybe take one question which is on the uh, relationship, which means while we talked about unit, will you also be keen at looking at a master franchisee relationship if that kind of opportunity comes in? Master, are we looking at master franchisee relationship also?
Yes, we are looking for that as
A
well.
bigger partner who comes. Okay. Another question, Bhavya, because apne, out of Delhi, you said you need a bigger capacity, which is 5,000 square feet, which also takes care of the manufacturing. Now, my question here is, will this outlet can this outlet also take care of other smaller formats? Because you don't need manufacturing at each unit. You know, if some city, for example, Bangalore has one outlet which is 5,000 square feet with the manufacturing capability already built in, can this outlet also take care of other outlets which come in that region?
So, yes, that can also take care of. As I mentioned, the 3000 square feet model is for Delhi NCR. And if you are at any another location looking for the second outlet, then also the 3000 square feet format will do. The base kitchen that we have for the first outlet can supply for that as well. Just about 10% of the employees would be required to increase in the base kitchen, and it can suffice for that. And if we are looking for a large you say master franchisee kind of thing, then how many outlets depending. So suppose we are in discussions for about 10 outlets in that city, so accordingly we can plan the kitchen and go phase wise for that.
Great. Right. So I do see some inquiries from any location. So Jabalpur is one, and we also have Bihar and Jharkhand, the few locations which we see. Now, Bhavya, can we also look at just a suite format? I guess if mithai ki shop khulni hai, is that also a format? When we only talked about restaurant and the full-fledged format of 5,000 square feet. Agar sweet shop hai, will sweet shop be an option for you to consider at this point in time? I guess a sweet shop hi humne kholni hai.
No, currently we are not considering that. We are going for a full-fledged outlet or only a restaurant outlet. For sweet outlet only, we can consider that in Delhi NCR or some high street markets, but not outside Delhi NCR, because we can supply it here, but outside we are not considering that.
All right. I think that's very helpful to understand. Okay, so I think what we can do, we've kind of covered a lot of questions in this presentation. And if we can also maybe have one of the days in the coming week where we can bring some prospective investors who can come on a one-on-one discussion with you. If any date that you want to suggest to the audience, we can announce that right away. And we can invite filtered interest to have a one-on-one discussion with you. Would you want to suggest a date anytime in this week or the next week where this discussion can take place with you?
I think so. Once we have the, we can discuss that later on. Now, right now, I do not have scheduled any date for like this, so it would be better. I have to check everything and then confirm.
Tentatively, you think if the 14th aapka available, like, can we bring in some investors on 14th for a one-on-one call with you? 14th is currently not.
Yes, yes, we can do that. We can do that.
Okay. So we fix up 14 because I see some inquiries where people want to connect with you on one-to-one basis. So I'll request friends kindly share your profile, location that you're from. If you own any property, that can also be something that we'd like to take up and get this discussion done. One question which I'm seeing from one of our viewers, Anish, which I'd like to take up is on the international markets. Will you be keen on international markets outside India? So the example which I have is UAE, Dubai as a market. So will these kind of markets, for example, Nepal, Bangladesh, UAE, closer to the home market of India, will these international markets be open for you?
Yes, we are open for them as well.
Great, very helpful. So Bhavya, before we close, I'll request you to maybe address the audience, any message that you want to pass on to the people who are listening to you and also live on the Facebook. And yeah, over to you.
Thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. And if you're looking for to work for a suite and a restaurant outlet, we can definitely work together. Please do connect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhavya. I'll maybe, we really value the time that you have given to all of us today. And we look forward to connecting all the prospective business buyers on 14th with you. And thank you so
Sure.
much, all of you friends, wherever your questions have not been answered, because I see some questions coming up now also. So we can perhaps have them, we can block 30 minutes with Bhavya ji and take your queries one to one. With this, Ashna, I'd like to give back to you for your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for joining in today and sharing your business idea with all of us. We would like to thank our panel member for sharing their advice, thought process, and suggestions with us. We would like to extend our thanks to all dear participants who have joined us today. Please share your suggestions, feedback, recommendations at our business hotline number, which is 9717683838. We invite all the suggestions because that will help the entire Franchise India team to work on our feedback and improve our processes. You can connect with the management team of Franchise India at their respective LinkedIn IDs. We at Franchise India is happy to help with all the potential business buyers. And tomorrow we are inviting you for Friday special episode where our attempt is to showcase 5 top franchisee brands. So tomorrow we are presenting brands coming and representing their business idea pertaining to food and beverage, education, retail and service. We request everyone to do registration today so that sharp tomorrow 12 p.m. you can join us. The recorded version of this particular webinar and all the previously done webinars, summit and franchisee show is available at the Facebook page of Franchise India Brands Limited. There, that's the link where you can go to video section and you can rewatch all the brand presentations. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day ahead. Stay safe, eat healthy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friends.